We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. You were born forgetting everything. The lives you lived before, the lessons you learned, the mistakes you already made, the people you loved, all gone, like smoke in the wind. Why? Why would a soul, eternal, conscious, intelligent, come into this world completely blank? Most people never ask this question. They accept forgetting as natural, just part of being human. But what if it's not? What if forgetting is part of the system? What if it's not a flaw, but a feature? Your soul didn't forget by accident. It was wiped, on purpose, by design. Before you came here, before this body, this name, this personality, you existed elsewhere, in a dimension beyond time, a realm where you remembered everything. And in that state, you made a decision to enter this life. But there was one condition: to truly experience it, you had to forget, because if you remembered, none of this would feel real. If you carried your full cosmic memory, life would be like a video game where you already know all the cheat codes. You wouldn't feel fear. You wouldn't take love seriously. You wouldn't value time. You wouldn't grow. Forgetting creates contrast, and contrast is the engine of evolution. Think about it. How do you learn courage? By forgetting your power. How do you learn love? By forgetting oneness. How do you learn to trust? By walking through darkness without a map. This is the sacred paradox. You had to lose your memory to find your truth. But here's the twist. Forgetting isn't permanent. It's a veil, a layer, a filter. And the more conscious you become, the thinner it gets. Little moments start to poke through. Déjà vu. Dreams that feel more real than waking life. Sudden knowings you can't explain. A deep sense that you've been here before. That this path, this lesson, this pain, it's familiar. Those moments? That's memory breaking through the veil. Your soul remembers. It always has. But the human mind, limited by time and language, can't handle the full download. It would overwhelm your nervous system, collapse your sense of self. That's why forgetting is protective, but temporary. And when you're ready, pieces begin to return, through symbols, through synchronicities, through people you've never met, but feel like home, through ancient texts, sounds, and visions that awaken something dormant inside you. That's not imagination. That's remembrance. That's the soul whispering, "You've done this before." If this resonates and you're ready to remember what's been hidden from you, make sure you subscribe and tap the bell. This journey is only beginning. Most people go their whole lives thinking they are just their name, their job, their body. They believe this is all there is. One life, one shot, and then it's over. But somewhere deep inside, they feel it. Something's missing. That feeling isn't emptiness. It's memory trying to come back. Your soul holds data, not just of who you've been, but what you've chosen. The lessons, the wounds, the patterns you agreed to face again. But to live them out fully, you had to forget the script. You see, forgetting allows for authenticity. You're not just playing a role, you're actually becoming it. You're immersed in the experience, reacting in real time, feeling it all for the first time, even if your soul has been through it 1,000 times. And here's where it gets interesting. When your soul chooses a life, it doesn't just pick a body, it picks a timeline, a family, a culture, a specific set of challenges. Why? Because your soul is not here to cruise through comfort. It's here to remember itself through contrast. Every difficulty you've faced, every heartbreak, every strange coincidence or inexplicable feeling of being off track, these are not signs that something went wrong. They're signs that the program is working. Pain triggers awakening. Confusion breeds curiosity. Loss leads to remembrance. But most people get stuck. They think forgetting is permanent. They start identifying with the pain, the trauma, the fear, and forget they ever chose this. This is where the trap begins. A world that teaches you to seek externally, to fear death, to doubt your own intuition. You're bombarded with noise, distractions, scripts that keep you asleep. Why? Because a sleeping soul is easy to control. But a soul that starts remembering, that's powerful, dangerous, liberated. And so, systems were built, educational, religious, cultural, to reinforce the forgetting, not out of evil, but out of a fear of what awakened souls might do, because someone who remembers who they are cannot be manipulated. They don't live for fear, they live for truth. So what happens when you start remembering? You begin to see the signs. Certain books, names, symbols, numbers, they start showing up, not once, but over and over. People enter your life who mirror parts of you you've forgotten. Dreams become messages. The world stops being random. Synchronicity becomes your new normal, and you feel it, not just in your head, but in your bones. I've been here before. That sensation is not nostalgia, it's spiritual recognition, your soul nodding from beneath the surface. And with each nod, the veil thins. More light comes through, more clarity, more connection. You realize your life is not just a sequence of events, it's a sacred curriculum. Every moment designed, every emotion, a lesson, every relationship, a mirror. You are not the victim of this reality. You are the architect, learning how to remember the design. So now the question becomes, how do you remember? Not intellectually, not through books or teachings, but through feeling, through presence, through alignment. You don't force remembrance, you allow it. It starts with listening, not just to others, but to yourself. The thoughts you dismiss, the feelings that come from nowhere, the dreams that won't leave you, these are not random. They are fragments, echoes, pieces of the whole trying to return to you. The more you slow down, the more you sense the whispers. And as you follow them, you begin to peel back the layers. Meditation helps, stillness helps, time and nature helps. But the most powerful trigger of remembrance is experience, raw, unfiltered, real-life experience. When your heart breaks open, memory leaks through. When you face your deepest fear, memory expands. When you love without needing to possess, memory reactivates. Because in those moments, you're no longer just human, you're divine. You're touching the edge of something eternal, and your soul recognizes it. This is why awakening isn't an idea. It's a process, a journey inward, one moment at a time. And the deeper you go, the more you realize you never really forgot. You only believed you did, like a dream where you think you're lost, until you wake up and laugh because you were in your bed the whole time. That's what spiritual awakening really is. Not learning something new, not becoming someone else, but waking up to what's always been there. You've always known who you are. You've always known why you came here. But the forgetting was necessary to make the remembering meaningful. And now that you're remembering, life changes. You start seeing signs in places others ignore. You feel truth in things others doubt. You walk differently. You speak with more intention, because now you're aware that you chose this. You chose to come here. You chose this body. You chose this timeline, and you chose to forget, so you could remember with power, not just knowledge, with wisdom, not just information, with presence, not just theory. And the beauty of it? Every soul goes through this in their own way. No two awakenings are the same, because no two paths are the same. but the destination, always the same. To return to the self, to return to the memory that you are more than this body, more than this name, more than this life. You are the witness, the light behind the eyes, the energy that cannot be destroyed. You are not broken. You are unfolding. And every time you listen, truly listen, to your intuition, to your dreams, to the signs life gives you, another piece returns. And with each piece, you feel a little more whole, a little more awake, a little more remembered. What's one moment in your life that felt like a memory breaking through?